Hi, my name is Sanjeev Pant. I am the VP for Cloud Strategy, Adoption, and Transformation here at Presidio Coda, a Presidio company. Um, a quick update: we have just joined the larger Presidio family. We got acquired a couple of months ago, so some of the information on the deck will represent a combined template for Presidio and Coda together. So just as a FYI. Today, I'm going to talk about data-driven decisions for business outcomes. The agenda for today is essentially what it means to have a data-driven decision. Then we're going to talk about walk backwards. The idea of walking backwards is very interesting and very unique at the same time. Data-driven decisions need for a platform. In this section, one of the things that I want to talk and elaborate on is what is the need for a platform, right? Storytelling with data is a topic that is going to be important, and everyone in the data analytics field knows that if you can't tell a story through a data, it doesn't create any kind of business outcome for it, right? And then the last item in the agenda is the use cases. I'll walk you through some of the use cases that we have done with our other customers that are more focused on data-driven decisions. Who and what? So in this section, I'm going to talk about who we are. So Coda was formed 3.5 years ago, about 4 years ago. And today we are a part of a larger Presidio family. One of the market differentiators that we can build solution in the cloud, leveraging most of the superpowers, cloud migration, data analytics, app modernization, managed services, DevOps, and automation. We can take all our superpowers that we have, build solutions in the cloud to provide that business outcome that the customer is looking for. And that is a very unique, very intriguing aspects of how we do business with our customers. So the Coda Global Services offerings, we have different practices, business units for doing various things. We have cloud migration, application development and modernization, DevOps and automation, data analytics, and managed services. We also have an extension of a managed services called continuous innovation services, which focuses more on how do you build enhancements and a repeatable process for helping our customers drive their business outcomes. Cloud migration is essentially we'll focus on taking the workloads into the cloud, and all the protocols and all the security and compliance aspect that goes with it. App development is we take a monolith, we take a look at the assets that are on-prem for our customers. We take the approach of microservice architecture. We build artifacts that are more linear, component-based, and we deploy that in the cloud. DevOps and automation is anything to do with infrastructure automation and DevOps automation. We help our customers drive towards that solution so that they move towards the shift left paradigm, which is an acceleration to make it infrastructure as a service type of engagement model. So DevOps and automation really allows our customers to take the solution and at speed deploy that in the cloud. Data analytics and advanced analytics is another practice we have, which focuses on the data engineering and advanced analytics aspects of it. And managed services is the idea of discovery, solutioning it, building it in the cloud, and managing it is a key component of our life cycle that we help customers with. Managed services allows our customer to take the support mechanism that we provide to them to be able to take their existing build outs that they have done as part of a project basis and drive towards keeping the lights on, adding enhancements on top of it, so on and so forth. Now that I've talked a little bit about Coda and Presidio, what does it mean to do data-driven decisions that are directly impacted or directly associated with business outcomes. The recurring sentiments for almost all the customers in different verticals in this marketplace has been very consistent. In this evolving ecosystem, our customers have so much data in their ecosystem, they just do not know what data is the right data and what data can be archived or completely deleted. This is a very important aspect because our customers are spending a lot of money in something that they don't even want to manage, or they don't even know that there is stale data that is causing them to have a larger storage space. Some of the business gaps as a result of these recurring sentiments that we can help is around building out integrated data platform. The problem with time to market, because you do not know your data, you can't get actionable insight from the data, which can impact your bottom line revenue stream. Ad tech company is a perfect example. In that business, you need to understand what some of the elements around the data sets is, because that is where you need to dig deep into the data to be able to mine out the revenue that is hidden in that data set. By doing the data-driven decisions, what you are benefiting is you're getting the customer a personalized customer experience. Reducing the time to market. You're creating these new business models and products and services, creating new opportunities. You are reducing the spend, increasing the revenue and the profitability. Right? What that really means is, as a result of thinking a data-driven decision-based approach, you are able to measure. Once you are able to measure, you are able to understand your baseline is, you can make improvements on top of it. So from that context, if you can measure, you can control. If you can control, you can save. And the aspects around those principles allows your profitability to increase, your revenue to increase. In order for us to have a data-driven decision/discipline, what we need to do, we do the walking backwards session. So walk backward is a approach that you take where you sit down with your core business stakeholders and you try to understand what it is that they're trying to achieve, and then you map that through a process. It is essentially like a mind map that allows us to understand what that customer is asking for. You want to walk backwards because in order to provide improved decision making and operational efficiency, you need to understand what it is that they're doing. We need to understand the baseline. From there, we can monetize. So wherever there's gap, there's opportunity. Once we understand the gap and we can identify how we can help the customer, we can really improve decision by combining operational efficiency, which leads into monetization, which leads into digital transformation. In the context of making smarter decisions, the ultimate goal is to digitize the customer's environment, right? Digitization is a big word, and it combines a lot of effort. It is a combination of a data-driven decision where we are taking your data set and we are putting your data set through a process and providing the data to your end customers to allow them to make smarter decisions. So the process of going from a paper-based system to a digital system is the process of what we call digitization journey. We do this through the process of crawl, walk, and run. The approach of the crawl, walk, run is done through a phased approach. For example, phase one, as you can see in this slide here, I'm trying to understand the business outcomes, right? Walking backwards. Then we try to establish a cloud native platform, and we start to build out some platform foundation. What it would take to build out a blueprint. Cubo, which we use heavily, is part of that platform foundation. Once we have the phase one built, we jump into phase two, which is an extension of phase one, but now we are working on, data engineering, data science, essentially doing enhanced capabilities. These phases can be months or weeks, right? It just depends on the use case. We go from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and by the time we know, we are going from a platform, trying to just build a platform in the cloud to really driving market and becoming market innovators. The process of being market innovators can only be achieved by building a data driven architecture. Data is at the heart of it. Having a smarter decision making process because you have the data that you need to make that decision, and allows you to meet your core business outcomes in a rapid fashion. How do you go from a discovery to production? Because that's important. The slide that you're seeing is a perfect example of how we do this process. That is discovery to production. Everything starts from a data strategy workshop. We sit down with the customer, we do the walk backwards session, we try to identify the business use cases, we evaluate their as is environment because it's important. We need to understand the baseline. Remember, what you can't measure can't be productionized, or even more, it cannot be enhanced, right? So we need to evaluate as is environment. We help the customer with a high level and detail level design, right? And this is whiteboarding, right? We sit down with the customer during the data strategy workshop process, and we kind of whiteboard and kind of understand some of the key metrics that they're after. We take a look at the what I call 4Vs: volume, velocity, variety, and variety of data set. And then as a result of the data strategy workshop, the actionable item that we come out is an actionable data strategy of a physical, call to action type of content that is used for building a cloud native data platform. We leverage Cubol and its capabilities to build a cloud native data platform. Once we do that, then it is ready for doing all sorts of machine learning AIs, because we want to make sure that we have data sets first in a normalized fashion. In order for us to have that in that normalized fashion, we need to have a process in place. So step 2 in this process is essentially to normalize the data set and store it. Once that is done, then we can apply all sort of machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, anomaly detection using random cut forest, or a customer churn model. We can apply all these different machine learning aspects to really understand what the customer is after, to really understand actionable insight into it. And then once that is done, then we are ready for what we call CIS, a continuous innovation service. Continuous innovation service is an extension of our managed services. And what this allows us to do, or our customers to do, is operate at a 24/7 capacity, plus also leverage some of the key features around agile improvement services, right? We continue want to improve it, add enhancements here, add enhancements there in the solution. We all know that solutions mature with time and effort. So that's what it does. The other leg to what CIS also does is data optimized. We leverage the CIS model to be able to continually make changes to our data pipeline, to our data model, and all that thing that is associated with it, to ensure that at the end of the day, what is being produced can be consumed by its end customer. In this case, it can be an API for application integration or reporting. I want to step back and talk to you guys a little bit about how do we do this holistically, right? The idea of think big, start small. So again, I go back to the walk backward deck or slide that we have. The idea here is to try to really understand the customer's ask, build a thought process around it, think big, right? Think holistically of what you could do. And then from there, walk backwards, take a section of the use case, what we call press release frequently asked questions. Take that as an intake, translate into one small use case, build a prototype on top of it, showcase that to the customer, build a minimum a lovable product, and then scale that out, right? So idea of a rapid innovation where we take a small section or a small use case that you have as part of a larger business outcome that you're trying to get is what this process takes you through. This is an offering that Coda Presidio team provides to rapidly take your business outcomes, your initiatives, your 2020 initiatives or 2021 initiatives, take a small section of that initiative and do a feasibility study and a viability study around it. And that is done through this rapid innovation process. Let's talk about what a platform stands for. So data-driven decisions cannot be achieved by not having data. In order to have data, you need to massage that data, manage that data, normalize that data, right? For your end customers to understand what that data really is. You cannot do that if you don't have a platform around it. So why do you need a platform? To provide governance around what you're trying to build. You need a platform for building a repeatable process so that once you go through the rapid innovation effort to build out a prototype, you want to do that same thing over and over again for multiple use cases. So you need a platform, a platform that would allow you to repeat the process, a platform that allows you to go from batch-based ingestion to micro-batching to streaming, create that data lake, create that data pond, create that data warehouse, right? To house the data and then act on top of it. The goal of building a platform is so that you can really understand what the cost looks like. Easy to manage your data, right? Moving to scale. When you build a platform, you are not talking just one use case or two use cases. You're talking an enterprise level use cases across multiple business units to provide the outcome that the customer is looking for. So as you go into this cloud journey, everything is going into this pay as you go pattern. I have a Tesla. I don't want to pay gas anymore, so I want to get a Tesla. I want to charge the Tesla at home based on when I need it. Uber, I want to go to the airport. So pay-as-you-go is something that we need to start building, and platform allows you to do that. What the platform also allows you to do is enable core tenets, things like simplification, right? Keep it simple. The KISS methodology, keep it simple. Performance, availability, data integrity, right? Reusability. These are aspects of why you would need to build a platform. You need to govern the data. You need to provide audit and logging capabilities, and you need to provide security and availability on it. All these are aspects of why in order for you to build a data-driven decision or a discipline for business outcome, you need to create a platform that enables and engages the customer to do that. You have the idea of a platform where you can crunch the numbers, normalize the data, your complex data, build machine learning models on top of it. But you can't really come across to your end users if you don't have something to show. If you break up your actionable insights into a reporting structure, there are 4 types of actionable insights that you can get: business insight, predictive insight, streaming insight, and prescriptive insight. This slide here shows you a working model for actionable insight as it relates to Amazon Web Services. But the idea here is that you can plug any cloud service provider, CSPs, into this mix to build this business insight, predictive insight, streaming insight, and prescriptive insight. Based on who your audience is and what the audience needs to do, these different types of these flavors of insight is very important. It's a dashboard. My CEO would like to take a look at my dashboard for an orders to cash flow every morning when he comes to the office, so that he can understand what was the direct impact as it pertains to different business units and how I can mitigate that issue. Predictive insight, things like interactive reporting, being able to have a segmentation. I want to be able to continually during the day see what is going on in the logistics of my trucking business. Where is my truck? What point it is at? How is it doing? Is it going to be meeting the SLA required by the customer at the delivery time and place? So these are actionable insights. So you cannot build a system, you cannot have a data-driven decision for the business outcome you're looking for without having a visual cues of what's going on. Having an actionable insight with native cloud services is key to getting the business outcome that you're looking for. So here's an example. I'm just going to graze through it. I plugged in multiple dashboarding type of dashboarding with different types of BI tools to show you some of the aspects to it. Engagement analysis for accounts, right? Executive dashboard, equity portfolio performance dashboard. These are all different dashboards coming from different data sources through a data pipeline, and providing that insight that the customer is looking for. Let's talk about a few of the use cases that we have done as it pertains to some of the things that I discussed with you guys. The first one I wanted to touch up on is this use case is one of our customers here in the Denver area. They're in the manufacturing business. A couple of years ago, the CIO came to us and said, I'm having a lot of issues. I am focused more on fixing issues than sitting down and building new capabilities. And everything is driven by data. How can you help consolidate these data sets within different data centers, provide that cloud journey for me to really help cut cost, provide a executive dashboard that would allow us to get better insight into our data sets, right? So the results we delivered was, in the last couple of years that we have been working with the customer, we have really streamlined the data management, resulting in 90% operational efficiency. The IT transformation resulting in business transformation and faster go-to-market was up by 45%. We built recommendation engines for bundle product offering, right? So to essentially to monetize data. So essentially, they are in the business of selling automotive parts. So creating these machine learning based models to suggest to the customer that if you buy a tire bolt, you can get X, Y, and Z for 20% discount, right? Which turned out to be a really good offering, and really drove that monetizing through data thought process. The biggest one is the decision-making efficiency for CFO office increased by 35%. What this really means is that the CFO office could not make and predict the revenue stream or impact in revenue stream because they could not get the data fast enough. When COVID hit, this company was not impacted at all. Two reasons for that. One, they went into this cloud journey and they went all in. They were invested. And two, we worked with them to build such a good architecture pattern and solution. The impact of COVID, when everyone was working remotely, had no significant impact at all. How did we do this? So essentially, we worked with AWS as a partner to build AWS services and build next generation data platform. And then what we did was we also expanded that to build advanced analytics so that they were able to build out this recommendation engine on a bundled product offering that really drove that monetization through data revenue stream. The other one that I want to talk to you guys about was a 3D design software company. This is a very unique need, right? So the customer was looking to reduce call center operating cost. They were looking to reduce the cost of training CSRs, customer service representatives. They were looking to reduce customer service response time. When you look at cost-cutting measures, this is huge. It also provides operational efficiency, right? If you think about it, I, as a call center rep, don't need to, if I have better insights into what the call is, I can defer that call and say that this call, this request is not an important request. I can do dynamic routing based on the sentiments of the customer, whether this customer is this customer is unhappy or this customer just needs information. If you have those types of information in your arsenal when you are on as a CSR, you are going to be productive enough to help and drive the calls and route them to appropriate folks based on the need of the customer. The results delivered was that we increased customer service response time by 99%. We cut the cost per call from $15 to approximately $200 to about $1. That's huge impact. We build machine learning driven, obviously data, we did a lot of the data analytics effort. We built chatbots leveraging conversational service and built ML capabilities on top of it. And this really allowed the customer and the call center to operate at better rate. Their reps were able to answer the right questions, and they were able to dynamically route those requests to the right folks. Here's another example, right? So the customer, this is the financial entity customer. So the problem statement with this customer was that this bank is a regional bank, and their customer demographic was that their customers were aging. They were a 70 years plus customer. What they were not able to understand and get their heads wrapped around was, why are my customers churning? We came in, we built a customer churn model using machine learning AI. We built a robust data pipeline using ETL. As a result of doing that, we were able to understand the high correlation attributes that contributed to customer churning. We were able to understand what attributes, whether geographic location or the age or multiple accounts in that bank, directly contributed to a customer leaving without notice. What they were able to do was they were able to proactively work with their customers through their customer success management team to be proactive about it and say, we understand that you are unhappy with our service. How can we help? That is the results we delivered. How did we do it? We essentially built a repeatable and templatized framework leveraging AWS native services and used AWS SageMaker for advanced analytics. Some of the use cases that we work and we typically hear are, I've just kind of listed out some of these things. I don't want to go through all of them, but customer churn analysis, near real-time claim authorization, denial predictions, order to cash flow predictive insight, operational awareness using advanced analytics. These are some of the use cases that we hear on a consistent basis. And we're working with multiple customers in different domains, whether it's manufacturing, healthcare, hospitality. We work on different verticals and domains to help on these different use cases that you are seeing here. So this is the end of my presentation. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to send us an email at the email address listed here. coda-marketing@presidio.com, and we will be able to help you with any questions that you have. Thank you.